Welcome to TNN International News. Tonight's report is an in-depth look on the 35th anniversary of Luis Carlos Blanco's assassination. Here is the shocking video of that tragic day. What a tragic day indeed. Now to tell you some background information about the Basque people, we have Jose in the newsroom.
Basque is 7 territories between Spain and France. They have a population of about 3 million people. They have their own language called Eustacia. There are less than 600,000 fluent speakers.
Thank you, Jose, for that information. Now let's go to our reporter in Spain to tell us about the history of the conflict. Since they were incorporated into Castillo in 1200 BC, the Basque region has enjoyed self-governance and autonomy for most of the time. The northern territories of Basque were taken by France during the Revolution. The Carlit Wars were a series of Spanish civil wars during the 1900s. These resulted in more control over the region by Spain, leaving the Basque people with less self-rule. Francisco Franco was a general in a later Spanish Civil War. He became the Spanish dictator following a coup d'état. His regime lasted from 1936 until his death in 1975. He imposed Spanish nationalism, and the Basque people did not like it. For this reason, political parties like the PNV were formed. The PNV is a political party interested in returning Basque autonomy and preserving the Basque ethnicity. After the Franco regime, the Spanish constitution was rewritten, restoring some of the Basque autonomy. Next, we have a TNN exclusive. We have an interview with an ETA member telling us his story. What is the ETA?
The ETA is a separatist organization that is armed and illegal. They say we killed over 800 people. Our goal is to break away from Spanish regime and try to restore our traditional culture.
When did it start?
In 1959, some young nationalists split off the PNV because the PNV was too moderate in its opposition of Franco's dictatorship. We wanted action now, so we started a more radical way of trying to get our own country, by killing people.
Who was assassinated first?
A police officer killed one of my fellow ETA members in 1968. So we retaliated and killed their police chief.
What kinds of things do you do?
We assassinate people with guns and car bombs, blackmail, kidnapping, robbery. If a bomb is going to go off and it is going to be a massive explosion, we usually call beforehand telling the innocent people to leave.
Why don't you keep the ceasefire?
We want our own country and that's all we will settle for.
Was there any opposition to your terrorism?
Yes, in the 1980s a group called the GAL was formed. They were terrorists to us. They would assassinate, kidnap and torture me and my fellow ETA members. Not only had they killed us, they killed people who they thought were related to us. Some were even innocent. In the 1990s it was uncovered and the GAL was a secret police run by the Spanish government. And it was shut down.
The ETA is now considered a terrorist organization. In 2006 they declared a permanent ceasefire, but 8 months later they broke it with a car bombing in a parking garage. The ETA has lost much support because of its violence and terrorism. The future only holds the answer to this violent issue.